What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. This past couple weeks, I missed the last upload. I apologize. I've just been kind of struggling to get a whole project done. I got this rainy vibe going on right now, so I'm hoping to really get this thing finished up right now, and we're gonna finish it up in this video. This is my goal. But for most of this video, you're gonna see just a bunch of random iPhone clips where I started to film a whole vlog and just kind of fell off. What is happening, everybody? We got some maintenance that needs to be done. All right, another day. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. What's up, guys? Coming at you live from underneath the Jeep. But we are right here. I've been saying it for so long, but we are literally, there's two or three things left on my list to get this thing going. The transfer case is in. Drive shaft is ordered from Adam's Drive Shaft. So the most recent thing I got into was trying to bleed the brakes, and the hard lines that I made, they all leaked. So I was able to pop off the brake fluid reservoir that was really dirty. So I got that off. I cleaned it up real good. So we're gonna pop that back on, and we're gonna try and diagnose what to do about my leaking brake lines. So now I'm working on this little issue that I saw where my front control arm was kind of loose. So the axle had some play in it. It seems I have lost the bolt. Yep, no clue where the bolt went. But anyway, if I check my joint here, or the bracket here, this should be 14 millimeters or 9/16. There we go. And then the joint, let's see if we can get these in there. It's a little difficult with one hand. Should be close enough. Yep, 15.9. That's 5/8. So it turns out this Johnny joint is a 5/8 Johnny joint. So that's not correct. So I was planning on having to weld a weld washer or something in here, but it turns out we are totally good to go with the bracket. Where the heck did I put that bolt? I'm gonna need to... What in the world, man? Oh, I put it back in the bag. Look at me. So I ordered all new hardware a long time ago. And if we shove that in there, fits perfect with no play at all. So definitely the joint. So that kind of, it's a lot easier to switch out a joint than it is to put a weld washer on there. So gonna have to get a hold of Curry and see if they can do something about that for me. If not, we'll need to be putting a new joint on there, but I'm just gonna leave that for now. It's not gonna be too big of an issue to get this thing out of the garage, but I'll definitely have to do something before I get into any sort of actual driving, because I don't want that thing to wallow out these holes. I don't know, maybe if I was planning, I ordered these joints 2 years ago, so I don't know if I was planning on going 5/8 bolts or something, but I'm never gonna be able to drill out these holes perfect on the Jeep. If they were still loose brackets on the table, I could throw them in the drill press and get nice 5/8 holes. It'd be fine. So I just went ahead and ordered the right ones. It's just the easiest solution right now, and that's really what I'm looking for. So another thing that I still haven't really gotten to yet is the power steering lines. So the stock pressure line actually fits. You can see it in there. And then the return line here, it's actually going to be a little bit short, and the way that this fitting is, it's just not going to fit in there. I think either way I'm going to have to trim out a little bit of the grill. So I made a mark there, but yeah, so again, that's not that big of a deal, but I'm going to have to figure out what kind of fittings those are and go get a new line made. Just another little project. And let's take a look at our list here. So this project's going to drag on for another week, but I ordered more Steal It to match all the paint that's already on there. The top of the towers, I'm gonna wait until this thing is like done. It's gonna be fine if I just roll it out of the garage and maybe drive around the block. Need to get a new battery. I have one as a core. I need to go get a new one. Not really sure what I'm gonna do on that yet. Probably just a Napa Gold Special or whatever. And I need to grease all the joints, so that'll take 5 minutes. Headlight plug. So I noticed yesterday as I was cleaning up the wires that someone had done like a stupid repair on the headlight plug here, and it finally just kind of broke out of the back of the socket there, right there. So I'm gonna have to do a repair on that. Again, not really a big deal. It's just something else that has to be done. Doesn't even really have to be done, but you know, I might wait on that to make that the last thing before I get this thing out of here, because I don't really care that much about a headlight. But got the soft top stretching out a little bit. You can see the side windows are just on there hanging, but rear windows on, and these are clipped in. The front is clipped in. Through on the other tail light. I'm gonna have to paint this up soon. And yeah, we're really getting there. As far as evap stuff, I'm filming a separate video on that, but I think I'm just gonna like cap it, and I'm gonna see if I can cap it and then cap the 2 lines up here. And it'd be pretty cool if I could just plug this in and maybe trick the Jeep into thinking that the evap is hooked up and working. That'd be cool if I could like get it inspected like that and then just kind of unplug the thing, and whatever. We'll worry about that when we get there. That'll be a separate video. Yeah, so just knickknacks, baby. We're getting there though. We're getting there. Today we're gonna be working on a quick little project. Also, mine's half done, but really cool little project that anybody can do and anybody probably should do. It's a nice little upgrade, and that is a cable shifter for the transfer case. So if you start lifting and messing with like the height of your transmission and your transfer case and all that, sometimes the linkage gets a little just not good, and sometimes it pops out and you have to adjust like the linkage underneath. This just makes it like super buttery smooth to shift in and out, and it's just just a nice thing to have. It's also cool for like future swaps. If you want to do like an Atlas or swap to a 242 or whatever it is, you can just, you know, plug this right in, you're good to go. So I went with the B&M kit. They were significantly cheaper than anybody else on the market right now, which had me a little bit worried. I'm not gonna lie. I'm usually the one to go for the most expensive thing because it's usually the best. So upon opening this though, I am very happy with the quality of this stuff so far. Their powder coat is some of the nicest powder coat I have ever seen on any sort of bracket that you get from a big box store. The hardware looks super nice, all gold zinc coated. It comes with these rubber bushings. You're gonna see this is all gonna be super nice, and it doesn't come with instructions. And to be honest, I have no idea what I'm doing. So if I can figure this out, you can 100% figure this out. All right, so I happen to have my transfer case already out because I'm getting an SYE done. So you can get a good look here at how the transfer case mounts. Normally you'd have your belly skid and you'd have a transmission mount. I think you can leave that on, but it makes it a little bit easier to access all this without it here. So these are 9/16 bolts. These two are the hardest to get to by far. I used the double wrench trick for this one, and then this one I was able to get a ratchet on. So there's normally a bracket here, which looks something like this one. That's all gonna go. Anything that's attached to the actual shifter up in the Jeep is going to go. There's like this whole thing that goes on under there. You can take the whole thing off. These were 10 mil bolts right here. Those are inside the Jeep. Those are going. I'm gonna clean this all up really quick. I might give that a quick paint job. And then basically we're just gonna bolt the new stuff right on. Well, I got the TK shifter out. It's all cleaned up. I gave it a quick paint job while I was at work. And there she is. There's just a couple bolts around here. These two over here do not come out of the bracket themselves, but they'll unscrew from the Jeep. So if you do these 3, then you do those 2 last, that'll pop right out. And then you can do whatever you want with that from there. So, I gotta get the light and everything, but I'm gonna clean up under here. You can see how much better the shifter looks, and I'm just gonna wipe everything down while I have the opportunity to do so. And then we'll get into putting on that shifter. All right, so now that we got it all cleaned up, it's a pretty straightforward process. I don't have instructions, so I'm just going off of what I think I'd have to do. So obviously you have the 4 bolts here from that original bracket that you took out. That looks something like that thing. And quite simply, the new one goes back up there. And lucky for us, B&M has been so kind to provide new hardware with new rubber bushings. All right, so something that took me a minute to find out how to use is those rubber washer things. You actually stick those in from the top, and the bolt goes in through the top, and then when you tighten them, it squishes them down almost like a nutsert. And then, yeah, so I just threw that on there. On this back corner one, the rubber thing kind of tore, so I am going to use a lock nut back there. And that'll just also make sure that this thing never actually falls off the vehicle. So then I went ahead and threw the cable up there. This little bushing gets in the way right here. But if you just unscrew that nut, the bushing comes off and you can get it off. And then you just twist one of these turnbuckles on there. I popped out the bushing that goes in this bottom thing here. And then in this kit, they actually give you some sort of poly, might even be aluminum here, a new bushing. So that will go right in there. It doesn't stay in there, forgive me about that. Then you got a pin. Oh boy, I lost it. And you got a pin, and then you got these little baby cotter pins. So I'm just gonna throw that on there. It's gonna be really difficult to hold the camera. All right, guys, what's happening? We're back in here and we have some really good news. The transfer case is back from the shop. Got this way, and I have everything I need to get this thing done. I'm just gonna like throw in some tunes. We're gonna thrash, we're gonna get the cable shifter done, transfer case in. I need to swap out the correct Johnny joints. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. I'm pretty sure I did. We need to do that, and then we just need to do all the fluids and bleed the brakes, and then this thing is ready to go. Here's a quick little pro tip. This is your like shifter linkage on the transfer case here. This guy right there. That is a 9/16 bolt towards the back. You can pull that off. And the new transfer case shifter kit comes with this doodad here. Mine's actually gonna have to be drilled out a little bit. I'm assuming it's just a powder coat that keeps the pin from going through there. So we're gonna drill that out. I'm gonna grease the crap out of it to keep it from rusting. And then you go on there. All right, another day. Today is wrap up miscellaneous things. We got a box full of fluids to go through, and as well as I need to swap in all these new Johnny joints. I also hopped in real quick and I pushed the clutch pedal and the brake pedal. Found a couple leaks in the brake lines that I made, so I'm just gonna pop those off, chop off the flares that I did, and try and re-flare them, and hopefully they work better this time. So I actually just got under here and just tightened everything like a lot, and I think that helped from what I can tell, but I'm not really gonna know until I go to do the actual bleeding of the brakes. So I'm just gonna move on. I'm gonna need some help to bleed the brakes, so I'll just wait until later on. I think I'm just gonna knock out the oil change now. The oil that's in here is literally 3 years old, I think, so definitely gotta try and get as much of that out as possible. And then we're gonna be putting in some seafoam in the new oil. And yeah, so I'm just gonna knock that out real quick, real straightforward. Super nice without the engine skid plate on there right now too. Oh boy. Uh-oh. Ah, nice. Oh, I still made a mess, but we retrieved it. Big shout out to Super Clean for the stuff they sent me, because it's coming in handy right now. I probably missed about half of the oil, so absorbent to the rescue. All right, guys, really cool little project here. We're getting down to the nitty gritty on this thing. So close. So obviously one major thing that I haven't done in probably pushing 2 years is put a battery in this thing. Yeah, I mean, I think I've buttoned up all the electrical. I think I mentioned this earlier. I need to repair the headlight plug, so I got one of these from my Napa. It's actually a pretty nice little unit. I forgot that I brought my electrical stuff home, so I don't have it with me, but it's not really crucial to getting this thing started. All my wires are out of the way of the fan and all that. One thing, I seem to have misplaced my intake. And, you know, I have this filter, I have the stock filter, and I just need to figure out some sort of tube or something. But other than that, we're ready to go in here. All right, battery's in there. Dug up the keys. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I apologize for that. Woo-hoo-hoo. It's funny. All sorts of lights. All sorts of lights. All right, guys, so we didn't get quite to the point of finishing this thing, but I think literally all that's left is I have to swap the rear joints, and I have to fill up the fuel cell with fuel, and we'll check the fuel system, and then we're ready to turn the key and pull the thing out. The drive shaft will be here next week, probably early next week. And so the next video is going to be it. There's no excuse this time. There's no excuse. It's swap the joints and fill it up with fuel, and we're done. All right, so unfortunately I will catch you guys in the next one for the big reveal. All right, peace.